Welcome back to another bright and sunny day here in Western New York, a rarity, really. Today, we have something a little more familiar to myself, my daily commutes, and I'm wearing the right shirt to show you. So this is our good customer, Ryan Yaw's 2023 GR Corolla in white, which is what I wanted. Nice. But yeah, he brought it in for us to tune. So we did an EcuTech tune with the race ROM update. And yeah, it made just about 300 horsepower, pretty much what mine did. Let's talk about what's done to it. So his car is actually really similar to mine as far as what's been done to it. He has intake, turbo inlet, he has an AWE touring exhaust, and he also went with the Forge front mount intercooler that he put on just before he brought it to us. He did do like the red Forge sticker, looks good. Kind of matches the accents of the car. And then I think with his, he did the Billet Works short shifter, like the pendulum, and then he did the Racer X, I believe, short shifter. But anyways, it's got a good crisp throw to it. And yeah, the car made really pretty much what mine did with similar modifications, just about 300 horsepower. Now what we have noticed, and others that I've talked to have noticed with these cars, is they do learn a lot. So even though my car dynoed, I think at 301, when we put it on our dyno, which does read a little lower than the one I was tuned on, it actually made like 315 the first pull, 306, and then 305 the 3 pulls. So it should wake up a little bit. We're gonna take it out after tuning it. We just like to make sure that we give it a test drive on the road. Everything feels good, partial throttle, all that fun stuff. And then he also did brake lines recently that he bled. He said he was getting a lot of bubbles. So I just wanna feel the brake pedal and just make sure it feels all right. He did pick up some EBC yellow pads from us and put them on himself. So I like this. I like that he kinda, came to us for the tune, for the parts, but it did a lot of work himself. Just the kind of guy that he is. Let's get in the car, let's take it out, let's see what it sounds like. Kind of excited to hear what this intake sounds like, the 6th Element Engineering. I haven't heard one of these in person yet. Let's hop in. Cool. So other interior modifications, he has the Billet Works teardrop shifter with the reverse lockout. And then he also put a fire extinguisher in here, which you might think is kind of weird for like a brand new car. There have been a few small instances of, I think like 2 where the cars like catch on fire or something like that. That's there. It's not a bad idea to have. I'd probably go in for like track days that we do. Now for the tune, we did 2 different maps. We did a low torque and then like a fully torqued map. So yeah, for the maps, you can hold the cancel button on the cruise control and select 1 or 2. The 2 map is going to be the higher torque and the 1 map will be the lower torque. So I'm going to drive on both, just make sure we're both looking good there. But it's kind of cool, the tachometer actually is what indicates you which map you're on. So we have like a little track that we usually like to go out on here. We are way out in the country. It's good for good and bad. The good thing is there's a lot of nice country roads that we can go on to show you guys. The bad thing is it takes a little while to get here. Cool, so this car is on factory suspension still. He did do aftermarket wheels, or Enki, with a, I think it's a 10 mil bolt-on spacer, if I'm not mistaken. So the car looks good. I actually really like the color of the wheels. It's like a dark, kind of rich bronze color. And then he also did front and rear emblem overlays in the same color. But yeah, the factory suspension, I obviously had mine on. I switched over to coilovers in the springtime. It's a little different, definitely feels a little taller than I remember my morning drive being, but doesn't feel bad. I actually don't really mind the factory suspension in these cars just being just a little tall. So Ryan did have a Turbo Smart recirc blow-off valve in this. He took it off. He was getting like a lot of compressor surge and sent it back to them. I guess they did see that there was an issue with it. So we sell their products. They're really great. They've been around for like a long time. Yeah, their products are great. Sucks that he got a defective unit. Personally, the factory bypass valve on this is like awesome. It's like really like more of like a whistle. The intake really opens it up. So if you are a GR Corolla owner or future prospective owner, I would 100% recommend getting an intake over a blow-off valve or recirc valve. I think that's really the noise that you're looking for. I think when most people think about like a blow-off valve noise, but on top of that, you get like a lot more like whoosh from the turbo too. So the one big difference I noticed between his car and mine is the pitch stop. So I believe he has the Delta X and I have the Cusco. The Cusco is just like very, very stiff. So I was actually thinking about getting a different pitch stop mount. So kind of liking the lack of noise compared to my car in this one and vibration. It's kind of weird like having the same mods as this car besides suspension, and like the whole in-cabin experience is so much more violent in my car than this one. So yeah, we'll see what we end up doing on that with my car. But as far as his car goes, things I like about it, like the wheels. To be honest, I don't typically like these wheels on other cars. I don't like that the spoke like goes all the way to the edge of the lip, but they look good. I think the color too on white was a good choice. I think the air intake, I might do something a little different. Like I said, I think just like the noise that I get out of mine, I enjoy a little more. It's like a little more that gets you smiling. So, but this, this one's definitely wakes up the bypass valve a bit. Other stuff, suspension, I kind of wish that I've driven a GR Corolla with lowering springs on the stock struts. Haven't yet, but I'd probably do something in that. I know he would probably, when the time comes for him, is right. I really like my Fortunato coilovers. I am getting a little bit of like squeak noise from the front, so I think I have to add more preload. We might do like another video on that in my car. I kept bumping my elbow and I was wondering what that was, and he has a center console. So it looks like he did, I think six Element makes these as well. I like my center console delete. I think I've voiced that before. I really like it about my car. My kids like it because they can just walk through to my seat when we get out of the car. The one thing I forgot to talk about on this car that I like is the Epsilon wing. So my buddy Adam makes these wings and lip kits for the GR Corolla, and Ryan got one. He had a paint matched in white. I think he's one of the only ones to have that so far, but it looks really good. It looks great. I know some people have complained about like fitment, but Ryan's looks totally fine to me. I can't really find a flaw in it. So I like it. I do like the paint match. I think it looks really good. Yeah, it looks good. I like it a lot. So there you have it, folks. Ryan's freshly tuned 300 horsepower club. Very excited about this one. I'd love to see how he feels about it, which he's picking up today. So I'm sure we'll hear more and report back. If you guys want your car tuned, hit us up. We can do all that, dyno tuning. We can get you parts just like we got for Ryan. If you guys have any questions about the services we do, or kind of what parts seem to work the best or give the best sensory feedback like we talked about, love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. The only intakes I've ever heard in person are my Forge Motorsports and then this 6th Element. Let me know what the other ones are sounding like, because I'd love to check out the like MST, Venturi, stuff like that. Thanks, we'll see you later.